let's go over here to YouTube. We are live, or we should be live. So hello to everybody here. Thanks for coming through.
Buddy here.
Oh, there we go. Audio is working. Godziel, how are you, my friend? So for anybody watching on the replay that may not be familiar with who you are, you want to give a little introduction for yourself? It's great to have you back here.
It has been a week, isn't it? Yep. Hi everyone. Glad you're watching. Thanks for the support. I'm Godziel, guild leader of one of the Pig Monsters guild, Pig Monsters Archon. So I've been playing Splinterlands for maybe 7 months to 8 months now, or maybe even a little bit more. So yeah, glad you're here. Come and hang out with us. We'll try to stream almost every Thursday with After Sound. And yeah, please join the live stream and chat with us.
Awesome. Well, yes, it is. We've been doing this for a couple times now. I think we missed last Thursday, but I'm glad we were able to make this one happen today, just because lots to chat about. I know we're gonna get into some of the town hall stuff, and I can pull up the town hall recap. But how are you feeling about the game overall? How are things in your guild? And let's also just say a quick hello to Razor Games, Lancelot Lord, and Lordo. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. It's like 10 p.m. for Godziel. It's like 9 a.m. in the morning for me. So, and Benjamin's in the house. But yeah, Godziel, how are you feeling about the game? How's everything on your end?
Yep. Good evening to my friends in Asia. Yep. I think those in Philippines, Indonesia, Singapore will be in the same time zone as I am. And good morning to those in the States. Yep. The game, right? I think everyone was like looking forward to LAN, right? And then I think the recent town hall, they dropped the roadmap, I think for the first time, a proper one, with all the details and percentage of completion. I think I've seen the math chat. A couple of math has been shouting for it, for a detailed roadmap. I think they have been
we did get that. Let me pull that up. Go ahead.
Oh, sure. Yep. And so I think the roadmap surely shows that how much work has to be done for LAN. And I think in the town hall, Hardpoint and Aggro was very clear that LAN is not going to be as soon as we thought it would be. I think the functionality of LAN would at least be a year from now. So I think that set some realistic expectations for the players. I think previously everyone was thinking that we could get LAN rolled out by end of this year. So with this clear roadmap, I think it's highly unlikely. Clear roadmap and such that we try to meet everyone's expectations, so that when it falls short, then the team will have to be accountable for it. If not, everyone would just be guessing when it would come up.
Yeah, I agree. Well, so I actually remember recording a video, putting out a video a couple weeks ago, where I said something along the lines of like, I see LAN coming out in the next 18 months, right? So I see 3 phases, and I think the phases that I had, like, first phase is what they've mentioned, where it's just going to be, you will be able to claim your plot, see what it's all about, but you won't be able to do anything with resources yet. And then the functional things will start maybe in a year from now, and then in 18 months we'll get like the whole battle update, because there's going to be like a second phase added to battles, which is going to be a huge element. So yeah, I don't know. I'm excited for it. But a lot of the things that I got some comments on there where it's just like, why so bearish on LAN? And I'm like, I'm not. Yeah. I'm like, if it happens sooner, then I'm all for it. But it's from everything that I'm gathering, it really seems like there's a lot that needs to be done. So here's a roadmap. Let's see if you guys can. I'll see if I can zoom in a little bit on this roadmap, but it looks like, yeah, land phase 1 is not coming until Q3. And I don't know, I guess I was even thinking about Q4 at that point. So maybe this is ahead of
Mhm.
my schedule here, because I was thinking October is when land is going to come out. And with, let's be honest, with all the delays that they're happening, I think
Yep.
I'm still, if I was to make a bet, I think I'd still be good for for Q4 if this ends up getting pushed to October. But what did you think about what they're saying in terms of like ranked rewards being placed ahead of modern and wild format? It makes sense to me, but I think it's still disappointing for someone like myself who's been waiting a long time now for modern and wild
Mhm.
format.
Mhm. Mm, to be honest, I don't really have a preference. I think to me, since we have been waiting for modern versus WoW for quite a bit of time, um, this 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 first and which coming first and second doesn't really matter to me
Hmm.
right now. My take is that they may want to roll out the rank rewards first to see how the economy behaves with just one format first. I think it's easier to roll out, and
Yeah.
then maybe if there are errors or problems, it's easier to debug and troubleshoot from there rather than having it implemented in two separate formats and you have to correct it twice. So I think there's benefit to just rolling out with a single format first, get it running, and then
Hmm.
it's more like a copy and paste when they implement the two different formats. So I think there is some sort of benefit on why they want to a tech benefit why they want to roll out rank rewards first. Um, but I'm excited for both. I think rank rewards, may trigger more players to come into play. But at the same time, it segregates the game from free to play players quite, strongly. There is
Yeah.
a higher barrier of entry with this rank rewards. But I think I shared with you and with the viewers here previously. It's more of like a shift in what you expect from the game. Pay to play first before you kind of think of earning anything from the game rather than free to play and try to earn from the game. So I'm okay with lesser active players as long as we capture and accumulate and acquire new users who are interested in investing the game, in playing the game, and thinking that this game is the right game for them. And we move forward and grow from there. So I have no issues with that, to be honest. How about you?
No, I think that's a really really good way to approach it. And before I expand on that, because I want to do that, I just want to give some more shout outs. So hello to Yuki, hey to Mario, Splinterlands, Jerio, Gather the Magic saying land 2025. Hey man, at this point you never know, man. So why do they even sell land when it is nowhere near ready? That's a good point. Hey Diego, what's going on? So we'll dive more into land, but just to get back to your points on modern and wild and rank rewards. Yeah, I mean, I think that it makes sense for rank rewards to be updated in this way. And here's the thing, I initially, even just a couple weeks ago, had been talking about how it seemed as though rank rewards in modern and wild were going to be two updates that were going to be pushed out together, and it made sense for them to be pushed out together, mainly because of the fact that, like, if you're doing, if you're changing the way that the leagues are going to be formatted and how all that goes how all of that is implemented, then you'd probably want to have the reward system kind of replacing whatever the current reward system is. But it's, the fact that now it's being split out and one is being prioritized over the other. I mean, I get it. It's obviously frustrating, and I understand everybody's frustration with it. To your point about players, I think I think what Splinterlands has really suffered from was getting too popular for the wrong reasons. And I mean, I'm just being honest. Like, I think the wrong reasons is the fact that, like, earnings became insane, like insane in October of last year when DEC was above the peg. And I always go back to it and I say, like, at that time, like when DEC is at its peg, it's printing out $1,000 in rewards every day, right? For the
Mm-hmm.
entire player base. Back in October, when DEC was a penny and a half, there was a double bonus because DEC is worth more and it prints more. So there was
Mm-hmm.
225,000 US dollars being printed versus $1,000 at the peg. So
Mm-hmm.
you had a bunch of people come in, you had a bunch of people make bot accounts because they're like, "Oh, I want a piece of this, six-figure rewards every single day. Like why wouldn't I spend $10 for an account?" And so
Yep.
you had a lot of people botting, and that like drove all these like major changes that, I don't think the team was ready to implement, like the bronze nerfs and all that. Like I don't think they even like I don't think they even saw that on their radar, right? Like as soon as like everything popped and DEC was above, way above its peg. It was like cool for them to like sell out of everything. But I think it really caught them off guard and they weren't prepared to like go in and make all the changes because they weren't even thinking about like, oh, the game can be exploited in this way. And
Mm-hmm.
so now we're at this point where like the game has gotten really boring and there's not much happening. And it's really just the people that are either in this for the long haul and or playing this because they love the game, they enjoy it, and they're looking forward to what's to come. So that's my long-winded response to you saying, like, I don't mind slow growth because if we're going to bring in the right players now and the people who aren't just going to be looking to pump and dump, or the people that aren't just looking to extract value from the game in large quantities, right? I think that we're in a good spot for that now, and that's why I'm very tempered in terms of my approach and saying, like, yeah, I don't know that we're going to have like another crazy spike like last year, because I think you'd need to have a catalyst. I think you'd need to have a mistake, and the team has admitted to it, so I can call it a mistake of doing something like pegging DEC to an airdrop point 1-to-1, and then having the fallout and the implications like transfer down into like how inflationary DEC gets when it goes above its peg, when it has additional utility. So
Mm-hmm.
everything that I've heard so far makes it seem like they don't want that to ever happen again, and they're going to
Mm-hmm.
make sure that DEC stays down at its peg, which should keep the rewards growing at, I think, a
Mm-hmm.
much slower rate. But yeah, no, I great points that you brought up, and I agree wholeheartedly. What's up, Vilson? Hello, Icy Flow. How are you guys doing? We're just kind of diving into some of the roadmap things from
Yeah.
the town hall yesterday. Have you given any more thought to the validators, Godziel? Would you consider running one, or are you excited for it? Is it just not in your wheelhouse?
Mm, to be honest, I think I would need more information on the validator nodes and what's the functionality, how many are there, how is it going to be run, and then I will put more thought to it. But I might be tempted to get one at the early stage if it's at the affordable range,
Mm-hmm.
just to get the license and see how things goes. But for my personal preference, I'm not too keen on nodes of running a validator node. Yeah, I think I would rather invest in maybe SPS cards,
Yeah.
packs, etc. Something that I can use. So let's see. But I think I'd like to touch on the question that gathering the magic has. Like, why do they even sell land when it's not near ready even? So
Yeah. Go for it. Because I was going to bring that up with the validators as well, but go ahead and dive into that, and I'll respond.
So I think if you look at Splinterlands as a company, um, the company itself has been running for maybe 4 to 5 years, and it's almost, I mean, back to last year, maybe early of last year, it is basically a game that Matt Cryptomancer basically built from scratch at their own home, in their backyard. And I think you can see this effect spilling over when the game exploded, which is now why they are unable to scale as fast as possible, which Agro also shared during the town hall, because a lot of the coding was done by Matt and Crypto Answers themselves, which are unique to how they do things, which
Mm-hmm.
is not standardized like what you will see in a game studio or in corporate, game making companies or production companies. So there is a big shift from just what you did as a hobby to what you want to do commercially to scale. So a lot of things has to be, to redo back end, but we do not see it, which Agro has explained, that it takes a lot of time in the back end before everything can scale at the speed that they want to. So to the same point, I believe Splinterlands, the company, has been more or less, funded and run without much investment, mainly through just the founding team, uh, putting in money to run the game, and then just getting revenues from previously like your Untamed, Beta Pack, etc. So the idea of why do they have to sell products in the game like land or packs is because they do not have much investment to begin with. Therefore, they need to raise funds to build a team to build the game even bigger. So there are reasons why they have to sell something that may not be ready yet because they need the funds to build a team so that they can build the game at the level they want. And it means that I am raising funds practically from the players, and I have obligation to reward the players who buy in early. That's you. Or they can choose the other way is I go and raise funds from private investors, game studios, and ultimately the benefit has to go to them because they are the early investors. So I think Sinisterland's team chose to raise funds from the players, and in return, they try their best to reward the investors and the players. So that is the reason why there are times they have to sell something that is not made or not ready made yet, and you have to wait for it to come to fruition because of this theory of raising funds to build something better for the players. Yep.
Yeah, I think, and somebody please correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like I remember Agrod even saying something along the lines of they've never raised any kind of outside funding. I think the closest that they've done is the private investor sale of the token, right? But
Hmm.
they've never raised any funds from any kind of VCs or venture capitalists. It's been more so, they've built this thing kind of from the ground up. And at the end of the day, that to me is one of the most impressive things. Is like if you build something that people want and will pay for, then it's a lot better than going into debt and losing control of the company and being
Yes.
you know what I mean. So like there, and here's the thing. I'm painting it in a very negative light. There's obviously benefits to it too because you never know what kind of connections you'd have, marketing and all these things. So, but obviously with the whole decentralization aspect, I think the what you said, Godziel, was right on the money, right on the DEC, we'll say, and in the fact that like they're offering this. I mean, two of those, I think it was Beta and Untamed were both Kickstarters, or Alpha and Beta were Kickstarters, I
Yeah.
think.
I think
So
Kickstarters.
a lot of that is like, okay, we're not selling equity to some private investors or millionaire or whatever people that want to support us. We want to find and fund get this funded by the community and then give those assets to the community, right? Because keep in mind that all of these cars, all the things that were owned, even land now is owned by the community.
Mhm.
And I get it because see, here's the thing. I think anybody who bought land early on is not the one complaining, right? Because they bought it for $20 a plot straight from
Mhm.
the site, or maybe even cheaper, with how much land has done since then. I mean, it's like what, 30x or 15x or something like that. Got up as high as almost 50x when it was near $1,000. So
Mhm.
if you had bought land at that point, you're fine right now because your assets have grown in value, even though you can't do anything with them. From a price appreciation standpoint, they've grown in value. But they have done something with them because when they implemented the airdrop, everybody who bought land for $20 a pop has had 100,000 DEC. I'm sorry, not 100,000. Was 10,000
10,000. Yeah.
airdrop points per plot since the beginning of SPS came out. So you have probably made back and even more
Yeah.
in terms of like your investment in land if you bought it at that point. Everybody who's
Yep.
bought since, and I bought a plot at 400 or 500, and I bought a second plot at 300. So like for me, that like I'm buying the premium, I'm buying the top essentially, because I'm speculating that this could potentially go higher. But the team has rewarded those who have been holding since the beginning. Um, and that kind of takes me back to the whole validators thing, because somebody asked a great question in the town hall where it's just like, why would you sell these if you're not planning to implement them until much later? And if you look at the roadmap, they're looking to start a pre-sale for these validator nodes
Mhm.
in what actually next month. I think they said maybe even as early as May. But
Yep.
the validator like code being completed is not scheduled on the roadmap until Q4. So this is something
Mm.
that if you were to buy it now, you would be sitting on it for a time period. And I wonder if the node licenses, if they're going to sell it by May and even get it out by June, if you'd get some kind of benefit from the airdrop for holding it for a month or two. But I wouldn't count on that. And I think this is something where you just have to buy it and sit on it and wait until that time, because you wouldn't be earning any rewards. And um, Vilson was asking, what do you think a validator would go for? I, I mean, I think was Gala Games either $1,000 or maybe $2,000 for their first node.
Mhm.
So I, I,
Mhm.
I can see that being, I can see that being kind of the starting price. And when you
Yep.
when you say that, I mean, I'm just like, oh man, $2,000. Would I spend that on a validator that I can't use for 6+ months? Or
Mhm.
or should I finally like max out my Chaos Legion deck? You know what I mean?
Yep.
I think it's
I
a
think the idea is that um a lot of these assets are not for everyone. That's something that we need to accept, that because if you price it too low, there will be a lot of speculation involved. A
mm-hmm,
lot of players, even whales, will come in and speculate, because it becomes whoever's first gets to benefit the most, and ultimately the game isn't benefiting. It's the traders or the players who are speculating who benefits off the other players. So setting the bar a bit higher in the thousands range, maybe 1K, 2K USD as a starting point, it brings down the possibility of speculation, such that players who really intend to buy the nodes buy with the intention of running one, and not trying to make a quick buck off other players. So I'm not too worried about the price, because at any price point there will be buyers, there will be players who will buy in and run. It's just about the number of how many there will be. So I'm not too concerned about the price. Um, at the same time, you wouldn't want people to just buy the license and hold on to speculate, and then no one running the nodes at the end of the day, right? So um, yeah. So let's see. I think when
I,
more
I I don't think
details
I don't
come
think they're
out.
going to be profitable for the first however long. I mean, not even outside of the 6-month waiting period. But I just think that people are going to buy in, and it's going to be one of those things where you're going to have to be one of those diamond holders where SPS may not appreciate in price enough that you're going to get any kind of return on your investment back yet.
Yeah, I think so. Like, I feel that being a validator is not, if you I don't think it's a position to take if you're planning to reap a profit, to take in profits. I think it's more of a position where you want to feel like you belong and contribute into Splinterlands as a society, as an ecosystem. And this is what would interest players that want to play that role, and they are
Mm-hmm.
willing to put in money just to sit there, so that they actively play a role, and perhaps they have certain say in other developments and so forth. So it's not a role for everyone. So I wouldn't
Yeah.
recommend it to just average player who just wants to play the game, because it's quite a bit of money, and you have to really go in with the idea that you are here, to contribute to the ecosystem, and you may not make any money out of it. Yeah.
Yeah. So Yuki's saying land did a 10 to 20x already. A lot of people paid hundreds of dollars to other players, not to the team. Very good point. And we shouldn't blame the team for that. They need to fund they need funds to build the game. Yep, that's exactly what we were trying to get at. Faded Glory is feeling good about their land. Good day to Tim. How are you? Felix and
Hey.
James, how are you? Yeah, I mean, for me, being a landowner, it's again. I mean, I think I misspoke earlier when I said like I think that I'm speculating on the price to go higher. Obviously, it'd be nice if it does, but
Mhm,
I just wanted to have a plot or two plots now, simply to just be
mhm,
part of the ecosystem. And when it comes to
mm,
the validator nodes, like what you're saying, it's definitely like that. Actually, has literally nothing to do with the gameplay itself. That is
mhm,
only going to be if you are kind of invested in Splinterlands, if you're invested in what the company Splinterlands and what the team is trying to do, then you understand the value of them kind of getting decentralized and earning something in the long run because you believe in the game kind of appreciating value on a time scale of years rather than weeks or months. But yeah.
yes. Yep. Yep. When I look at the oh yeah, if you guys have any questions or what, feel free to type in the comments or try to like to chit chat with you guys as well. When I look at the the timeline of the uh what's coming up, right? It
Mhm.
seems like Rift Watcher is gonna come out early in Q3, which is you know not too far away. Means it's about 3 months from now because now it's April, right? Which is like you know Q2 already.
Yep.
So it seems like it's gonna be coming really soon. Pretty exciting. Uh, yeah.
I I agree. I mean, so from a gameplay perspective, right? And I think this is where we're talking about that shift in mindset, right? From a gameplay perspective, there's a lot that's happening there's a lot that's happening in the next couple of months because
Mhm.
yes, I know there's been massive delays, but the rewards economy is going to be great. The modern and wild format is going to change the way people interact with the game tremendously. But also coming with the rewards economy is the new rewards cards, and that can dramatically change the meta and make the game just inject some spice into the game until
Yep.
Rift Watchers comes out, which could be sometime in Q3. So it could be anywhere from 3 to 6 months away at this point. And then once Rift Watchers comes out, if any of those summoners or monsters are like what we had in Dice, someone like a Mylar who really like
Yeah.
changed the game at the lower levels, and things like that, I think it could make it really really interesting. What's going to be fun to watch for me when it comes to Rift Watchers is where is Chaos Legion going to be from a
Mhm.
sales standpoint at that point, and not
Mhm.
because like not even from an investment like, oh, I want it to sell out so that the packs that I'm sitting on appreciate in value, but more so like when will the legendary summoners come out?
Yep.
Because pack sales right now are incredibly slow, but the implications of that means that we're still a long way from getting our first legendary summoner, and I'm hoping by the time Rift Watchers comes out we'll have at least one or two, if not more.
Yep. To be very honest, on this point of the legendary summoners, I was quite unhappy at the beginning because at the initial stage when they announced Chaos Legion, right? Then they said that the 6 summoners were gonna be the middle of the airdrop. Out of the 14, it will be in the
Oh, did they
middle.
say that?
Yeah, they did.
I don't. Okay.
So and in the end, they push it to the last 6. So I felt that this is why the game is feeling a little bit boring now, and it's making people a bit tired because the summoners are the one that bring life and inject life to the game and bring some balance to the game, but it's coming too late. I would have preferred if the summoners came in the middle,
Mm.
um maybe at slightly earlier, maybe from like maybe 6 million packs onwards, and then 6 to 12 million, for example, and this would give us like 2 3 legendary summoners to start with, and it will keep more and more people engaged in the game. And pushing this back, you can see that funds has dried up from the game itself.
Mm-hmm.
Most players have bought whatever packs they need from existing players. And what's next is the next burst of packs being bought will come from new players joining the game,
Yeah.
hopefully through the revised rank rewards, the new modern and WoW. And if at that point we do not see an influx of new players, the packs will just keep crawling. Um, Maybe 10 or 5,000 packs a day, and the game will feel even less engaging because of this. So I was a bit little upset with the summoners being the last, but yeah, it's just unfortunate that it's dragging out a little bit too long, I feel.
Yeah, I mean, I think in hindsight, looking at how I would have played things out, is you had that initial, so you had the first pre-sale and the phase 2, and then that initial rush where they airdrop like 3 monsters out, to people for the start of the general sale, right? So who was that? Lyra the Dark, Isa, and Grum. At
Mhm.
that point, right, you saw that sales were going well, and
Yeah,
I
it was hype.
may there was hype, and I guess from the team's perspective, maybe for them they were like, we need to slow this down because we want Chaos Legion to last a full year. But at that
Mhm.
point, I would have, because I'm looking now at the next two were Spirit Hoarder and Carnage Titan. I really think that if they had said, okay, well, we've done like 4 or 6, or we've done 6 airdrops so far, including Dr. Blight, um, it would have been good if they had said, let's at least get the first legendary summoner out for the
Yes.
next one,
Yep.
because then people know, what's coming. That'll keep the momentum going. And they didn't need to do
Mhm.
all 6 at once, right? But if they could have had at
Yep.
least one ready, that would have been nice, because again, even now, people are waiting almost with like bated breath to see like, what are these legendary summoners going to look like? Are they going to be competitive versus Untamed? Because if they're not, then I think, I'll be honest, if this legendary summons come out, or at least the first one comes out, and it ends up not being like an 8 or 6 mana summoner that can do, that can hang with the Untamed legendary summoners, if it can't do
Mhm.
that, I'm gonna look at this and be like, oh well, there goes my shot at ever getting leaderboards in, even in modern, because that's only going to be dominated by people who have the older cards. So it'll be even discouraging for someone like me.
Yeah.
So I feel like a lot of people have been waiting, and if they had shown that early on and shown that, okay, these legendary summoners, like they're going to be awesome, they're going to cost more mana, for example, right, as one of the ways that Untamed will have some value over them, but they're going to
Yeah.
be awesome, and you're going to want to get in. I think that would have kept the hype going, to your point, where it wouldn't be this slog. I mean, it took us so long to go from Spirit Hoarder to Carnage Titan, and now even still, we don't know, even though we know the next one for sure is going to be a legendary summoner, we don't know the stats, we don't know anything about it.
Yep.
I'm not buying packs, because it's like like I don't know what I'm buying packs for at this point, especially when I know that I
Yes.
can buy them off the market.
Yep.
So yeah, it's
Yeah.
definitely been.
No. On hindsight, when I look at the Chaos Legion, I would say the release wasn't very well thought out. And there are actually two sore points that I hope that the team can actually look at it and fix it in the future. Like one being, I think the initial pre-sale uh were too expensive. It was overhyped. Vouchers were almost going for $20 a piece. And if you look at that in context, it's like um, the first million pack is equivalent to 4 million packs in actuality, lah. In terms of value. It could
Oh,
have
yeah.
been 4 million packs, pushing us up to 12 million. I feel that the first million was overpriced. At the same time, they wanted the leaderboard to fight for packs, but they were unable to deliver the promise of the legendary summoners. You want me to spend few $100,000 to climb the leaderboard to get a chance to pick and design the legendary summoners, but then the question now is, when will I see it it could be a
It,
years later. Then what's the
yeah,
point
yeah,
in me climbing the ladder? I've paid,
yeah,
I've spent $200,000. Fine, I get to design the next legendary summoner, but when will it come out? I don't know, because it depends on when the pack sells out. And what if it doesn't? It's just a weight of question mark. There's no
yeah,
certainty. And then I will look back and say, then why the heck did I spend so much money for
yeah,
something that I don't even know when I can see my creation coming out? I don't think it's very fair to those who spend that amount of money. So I think there is a mismatch in the hype and what they delivered, because I think they wanted to hype it up to create the FOMO, but at the same time, you fall short on delivering. So when you look back, I kind of pity those people that spend that amount of money, because
yeah,
I spent hundreds of thousands of dollars, and then where is your creation? It's dependent on something you can't control, which is
yeah.
new players buying
Which is
packs. I feel
frustrating. Yeah,
that's frustrating, and um it sets a bad tone for the next leaderboard or the next challenge. Like,
yeah,
I would have rather, if it's more like, first six who reaches like 500,000 packs bought, 1,000 packs bought, that kind of thing. But I think they didn't expect the FOMO to go out of hand at the same time, with the vouchers, being at $20. I think that was, in totality, it was pure execution, and I feel bad for those who actually went for it.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a great point, Godzilla. So anybody out there, if you're feeling frustrated that we haven't gotten the legendary summoners yet, think about the people who spent six
Yeah.
figures to design one, and they still don't have it yet either, right? So, um, oh man, yeah, I agree. I think the execution could have been better, and I try to give I try to give the team as much benefit of the doubt as possible, because I do understand that they're having a lot of growing pains right now, and like I said, I just I feel like the DEC, or like the airdrop and the whole DEC thing, ended up being like a blessing and a curse for them, because it brought so much interest into the game,
Mm,
but at the same time, it like broke everything. Because even now, for example, I think that they are intentionally holding things off, such as like SPS rank battle rewards, like all these things that were supposed to come in last year. But like SPS rank battle rewards, the whole validators, like they're holding off on all these things until the end of the airdrop, because right now it's just like DEC is just too high off its peg, and it just doesn't make any sense. You know what I mean? So I feel like
yep.
it broke so many things, even though the benefit was it brought probably people like myself into the game, because I was just like, oh, look at these earnings. This is crazy. And I understand like the long-term potential, but that doesn't make it any easier to kind of sit through these kind of grind periods where it's like, okay, we're they're working on stuff, but like literally every town hall, these next updates that everybody's looking forward to are getting pushed back, and then you see the pack sales just essentially like grinding to a halt after Carnage Titan. It's just like collectively as a community, we were like, let's get there so we can see the legendary summoner stats, and now it's like we're selling less than 10k packs a day, and the team's like,
Yep.
yeah, the legendary summoner at this rate isn't coming until July.
You know, this is I feel that this is, if I look from a third party point of view, from outside of the company,
Hmm.
if I look at Splinterlands, I would say that the past 6 months is essentially a reset or restart for the team. And looking on hindsight, the I hope the team learns from this entire last 6 months, and there are consequences to decision. And I think the first was, it all started off with them not banning bots. You can take a stand like that as a company of not wanting to deal with bots. I feel that it gives you a moral high ground, right? Saying things like XE bans, but I don't. It gives you a moral high ground. But at the same time, you got to deal with the consequences that comes with it, but they weren't ready. And the problem of bots was so great that the team was slow to realize it, the impact on the entire game, the economy, and the infrastructure. it is something they have to learn from this. You can
Mm,
choose to make decisions, but you have to be prepared to answer for it and pay the price. There is always a price, and they was quite slow to realize it. By the time they realize it, they threw in the bronze. You know, they have to take time out of the regular. It's just a band-aid, but they have to come up with something to stop it first. But at the same time, still denying bots is an issue. But it's fine. But the thing is, the game wasn't ready to deal with it. And then you have to build a game to deal with it. So that is the process they have to go through, while dealing with Chaos Legion, at the same time, uh, with more players, more bots, pack sales, design. Is taking up a lot of time for the cards, for the UI, for the UX, the page. So it's draining a lot of the team, but you can see this as a reset for the team, realizing it and rebuilding lots of the fundamental of. You look at the economy that's going to rank rewards is essentially the fundamental of the reward game and
yeah.
economy, right? And them changing it is essentially rebuilding it from scratch. At the same time, waiting for DEC airdrop to end is just as good as a reset to me. But to me, it's quite cool that they realize it. Matt realized it, and he has to dig deep to solve it. That's why he has been spending so much time and needs to take time away from town hall and stuff, because there's a lot of work to be done. But I can see from Q3 onwards, then it's as good as a new start for Splinterlands, where things that have went wrong have been fixed, and then let's see what's next.
Yeah. No, I think you hit the nail on the head there, because like the whole bronze nerfs back in October, that was exactly what you said. Like, it was a band-aid solution. And the real solution now is what they mentioned in not this last town hall, but the last one that Matt was on, where you'll only earn if you own the cards, right? You'll only earn if you own starter cards. Now, what's interesting is, like, I say that back in October, that was a band-aid solution, but here's the thing: once they implemented the bronze nerfs, a lot of interest like died from the game, because they're like, oh, they're just hurting new players. And in a sense, they were right, because if you didn't own enough power, and at that point in
Mhm.
time, power was expensive, right? Power was expensive because of Chaos Legion not being out yet. So even though that was a band-aid, I guess I ultimately still think that was the right thing to do, because imagine if they'd implemented that whole thing where it's just like, you need to own the cards. Now, at that point, the only cards available were Untamed and Beta, commons and
Mhm.
rares. Like, that
Mm.
would have been a significant investment. Like, I probably would have
No,
stayed in the game, but I don't think that I'd be playing. Like,
same.
I wouldn't have been able to own any cards in order to earn from the game. So it sucks, because I feel like they're recognizing the mistakes, like you said. They're dealing with the fallout and the consequences of it. Do I wish that they were acting faster? Absolutely. I think that's, without a doubt. And there's, I'm sure they wish the same too.
Yep.
But yeah, it's definitely a tough situation. And like you said, for the reset, I'm curious to see. Not that I'm going to leave the game. Like, I'm not saying this as like this is my ultimatum, but I am curious to see what shakes out after the airdrop. I'm very hopeful. I'm very optimistic after the airdrop that things will start to pick up in pace, and the second half of this year will start to look a lot better. Mainly because the team will have had time to get people onboarded, but two, I really do. It really does seem like they've been intentional about not about like just delaying things until after the airdrop. So
Mm,
let's
yeah.
catch up on some comments here too.
Yes,
So
sure.
Clemens Half%, do you have your first brawl? No, I have not yet, but I'm okay. So actually, Godziel, this is going to be so basic, but I'm going to need your help here, because I don't even know how brawls work. I've been
Mhm.
assigned my first fray, so
Yep.
I don't even know what that entails. But I've been assigned my first fray, so I'm going to give that a try, and then I'll report back to you guys here. So James is asking, I have a question. With the current airdrop still going on, investing to summoners is better, or collecting power is better for a new silver 3? player perspective. With the airdrop still going on, you probably want to collect power, and then hopefully, you'll be able to level up summoners at a later point, whether that's through Chaos Legion or maybe even Rift Watchers when it comes out. But if that's your focus, Yuki's can't wait for legendary summoners. Tim agrees with your take. Oh man, we're behind. I don't even know what take that was. But Godziel, you got a supporter there.
Thanks,
All right.
Tim.
All right, Alex is saying June 29th, I think, when the next summoner or the next airdrop is going to be hit. I see Flo saying, I don't mind the mistakes they've made as long as they've learned from it. If the game was bigger, the mistakes could have sank the game. I see Flo, do you feel like they have learned from their mistakes? I guess that's a good follow-up question for you.
Maybe just touch on Icy Flow. Like, Splinterlands is the pioneer in this. I would say one of the pioneer, or if not the pioneer in this. And unfortunately, they do not have anyone else to learn from. That's the problem with that. As a management point of view, that is something that the management has to deal with, and it's a bit of a danger point because the team does not have other studios to learn from, other games who have made the similar mistakes and they can avoid it. They don't have anyone to learn from, therefore they are the one making the mistakes. IC4 is very true. There are game studios that make mistakes and have failed. Games have failed terribly because of silly mistakes, but the game is the company is only as good as the game. The game is the product, the game is what they sell to you. So if the team has to be laser focused on building the game, and if you can build as much as you want, you can have SPS, you can have DC, you can have 10 tokens, nothing will fly if the game is not fun, because anything can only be good as the game. Without the game, all these tokens are just useless, right? So if they do not lose focus and they continue building on a better game, everything else will fall in place. But if they lose the focus and you keep thinking of focusing, I feel that focusing too much time on other stuff other than the game would lead to a downfall eventually.
Yeah, no, I agree with you on that. All right, so Yuki's saying they should release legendary summoners every month rather than every 1 million packs. That's an interesting idea. There was somebody who mentioned, like, what if they sold packs, not like, what if they didn't have a print limit on packs, but they had a time limit on packs. So for example, like whenever they release a new edition, like packs will only be available for like 1 month, and then after that month. But I feel like some whale would come in and buy like 40 million packs.
No, like sorry Yuki, but having a time limit is not a very good solution.
No,
because
that wasn't Yuki. That was just something that's
no, I mean
mentioned.
to Yuki's question on
Oh, to Yuki, okay.
Every month rather than 1 million packs. Once you set a time limit, everyone has time and everyone will play the waiting game and no one will buy packs. So less packs equals less funding for the company, equals less resources to build the game even better. So yes, they need to balance that. But yeah, they could have scheduled legendary summoners in a different manner. Yeah, but I think people will be tired of waiting at a certain point. Easily by Q3 or Q4, if there's only like one legendary summoner out by then, the community won't be happy. There will be noises, there will be sounds, there will be people will be raising their voices because it's just too long. So perhaps when the time has come, that is where you see SPS governance come into play. There may be something that the SPS token holders can vote on the legendary summoners release, because by then you are already crossing 9 million, maybe 10 million packs, and maybe the team will be at a comfortable stage to just let it go and let the summoners be released, etc. So look out for that.
Yeah, I agree with you. The time thing is interesting, but I think at the end of the day, everybody would just wait it out, like go like
Mhm.
live your life, do something else, and then come back when it's available. So Alex missed a lot from the town hall, I guess. Town hall yesterday was all right. They said Matt might be back next week, so that'll be interesting. It sounds like they have some big updates for next week, but they didn't want to hint at them. So I have been
Mhm.
saying, at least when the new summoners come out, the old ones will be cheaper. Do you think that's true? I only believe that will be the case if the new summoners are good. Um, then it wouldn't necessarily make the old summoners cheaper, but if they're not as dominant, then yeah, there might not be as much demand for them. And anybody who is looking to offload and sell them, like a Yodin or a Llama, they might have to lower their price to actually get it sold.
Yeah, I think to Ahmed's question, you really need to consider is not just about cheaper or not cheaper. The value. There is a reason why the price is falling because of the value and the utility of the card is declining.
Good
You
point.
know, its value now at $300 because it gives you value of $300 now because you get to play with Yodin and smash people in bronze, in silver. But 6 months down the road, yeah, Yodin could be $100, $50. But what's the point if you don't use it? Because you are using the new summoners. Then would $50 then be considered overvalued as well? So you have to really think about the value, not just the price. In 10 years' time, I can give you a free Yodin maybe, but then what's the point if you don't even play the game? So think about it as value rather than price.
Yeah, that's a good way to look at it. So Box Score Watcher saying player retention in this game is like 2 out of 10. They need to fix a lot of things. Yeah, 2 out of 10 might even be generous. You know what? Because I think about Chaos Legion coming out in January, and we're in April now. And somebody correct me if I'm wrong, but the only major thing that has happened in the last 3 months, and now will probably be 4 months because it doesn't look like we're going to get major updates to rank rewards or our modern format until next month. So in 4 months, the only thing that was major was Waka. And
Yep.
I got to say that I think Waka, as cool as it was for the culture and all that, it that shouldn't have been where their priorities were. You know what I mean? If there
Mm,
was so much to work on, I don't know. What do you think?
I would say that there has been a lot going on in the last 3 months, but it's not known to the players because, in my opinion, on how I assess the town hall and what they are saying, firstly, I think majority of the 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 devs and the founders have been burned out for the last few years, and
Mm-hmm.
a lot of them actually took a break sometime in December and January.
Oh, after
I
Chaos Legion
think
came out, yeah.
yeah, after Chaos Legion, I think a lot of them were burned out. They had to go away for a certain time to rest, to deal with personal things and life that they have missed out on, which is totally fair. And on top of that, there was a major restructuring of the entire company with new heads coming in, um, new members coming in, staff coming in. It's a huge, huge restructuring, which people on the outside would not understand actually how much impact restructuring impacts the company, the
Mm-hmm.
operations of the company. Things are not going to be business as usual when you have new heads coming in, new hire every other week. You have to, people like Hardpoint interviewing, I think 10, 20 people in the last
I mean, that takes
2 months,
time.
three
Just
months.
simply,
It,
it
it
takes
takes,
time.
yes, you have to filter them. They don't even have a HR in charge. You have to
Mm-hmm.
go through the hiring process. People are working remotely all over the world. You need to deal with how to make payments, salaries to them. It's a lot of work, but they previously did not have sufficient people to deal with it. So there was a huge restructuring. That's why it took at least 3 to 4 months to get things up and running again. And in the meantime, like you said, they could only focus on Waka and almost like nothing else. Um,
Well,
yeah.
just to clarify, I'm not saying that nothing happened because I know behind the scenes they have been working incredibly hard, right? And
Mhm.
so it's more so. Here's what I'm trying to say: would the game and the community be in a better state if at the end of February they updated rank rewards than releasing Waka? I think without
Mhm.
a doubt that would be the case, right? If they had
Mhm.
done that and then okay, now the players, the majority of players have this new thing to work on. Let's go create something that only the high end people will be able to, you know what I mean, appreciate. Whereas like
Yep.
Chaos Legion came out and then they went for Waka, and like they've been talking about modern format coming out since December, right? Or that was the initial target for it to come out in December, and now that's going to be 5 months delayed, or 5 months delayed. And it's like I wish that instead, it's one of those things where it's just like, yeah, Waka was cool at the time. You and I were on the stream together, we were watching, it was crazy. And as fun as that was, as cool as it was to have a partnership and a new card like that, I just feel like we'd be in a better place if the focus had been on the other things. Now, I'm not on the development side of the team. Like I'm not. We're looking at this in hindsight, so I'm
Correct.
not trying to be critical here. It's more so just had the resources been applied there, I think the game and the community would be in a better spot today.
Yeah, I think the way we stream here, right? We always speak our mind. When it's time to, criticize, we criticize. When it's time to point out some stuff, we just point it out. But when it's time to defend the team, we defend the team as well. So, whoever's watching, we just say and speak our mind. We try to be objective and fair. We do not, we do not bash for the sake of it or anything. We always try to be objective and just share what we think with you guys.
Yeah, for sure. Look, I've gotten to know some people on the team now too, so it's like I know that everybody there is working hard and they believe strongly like in the game. So it's more so like, I wonder how things would have been if X was done instead of Y, or Y was done instead of X. You know what I mean? All right. So Gathering the Magic is saying, wait for cheap summoners to sell out fast. Once people scoop them up with the new changes, everyone needs at least one for now. So box score watchers, and now playable land is 1 year out. RIP. I called it. I did call it. Just want to say, everyone thought I was being bearish, but I did call it. Alex is saying they delay everything. They're never on time. Godziel, are you noticing that the comments section is just much more negative these days? Box score watchers.
I think it's good that people speak their mind, but using the word never, I don't think that's very fair to the team. Because they hardly have ever committed to any timeline, and
that's true.
Having the team commit to the timeline right now is a huge improvement and a big step as how a corporate organization should be run. So you gotta say that they have been improving. I don't know I wouldn't be complaining.
So box score watcher saying, I fully expect land to continue to drop in value. All I was trying to say, now I'm not trying to bash you guys or bash the team, anybody here listening. I'm just saying that the negativity is a stark difference from where we were even just a couple months ago, because now it's just like everybody's feeling the frustration and it's reaching this boiling point, right? And then you have town halls, like, I mean, the one yesterday was decent, but like the one from last week, like, it's a lot of eye candy without substance. You know what I mean? It's like, it's literally just like eye candy or ear candy. It's just like, yeah, okay, there's like some cool updates here and there, but without much substance, as opposed to what we had.
Like, I've seen so many videos and YouTubers talking about land prices, whether it should go up, go down, and it always stuns me. Like, how do you guys even put a price on land? You say it goes up, it goes down, but based on what? Based on feeling? Based on what? So I find it very weird that there are a lot of YouTubers out there or content creators that try to give advice on what they think about land, the utility of land. It doesn't mean that utility equals price going up.
Yeah,
I think in Splinterlands there are assets that were overly priced or wrongly priced in the start. At the end of like November, and you see the big correction, is because a lot of players don't understand value and pricing. And I'll just give you an example. How do you price land? I think you have shared in your land video some months back. You can just go and think, how much dollar value do you think land can bring in? Divide by the number of plots of land, and that's how you value land. Because the price of land is just the future value of cash flow coming in from land. So a good example is, for example, if 10 million, how much is 10 million Chaos Legion packs? Like 40 million. and that's how much cut value there is, right? And then if you
Yeah.
sell land is basically creating equipment cards, spell cards, right? How
Yeah.
much do you think that can be created? How much dollar value? 40 million, 50 million? Will it create $100 million? I don't know,
I
but
mean,
you,
the
yeah,
market cap of this game isn't even 100 million. So like
right.
the numbers
So
being thrown out are incredibly high.
yes, it's incredibly high, and people have to understand it's incredibly high. So think about it, divide by the number of plots of land available, and you have a rough estimate of how much a piece of land is should or could be valued at. Do not just listen to people say, oh, there's utility coming, therefore land should increase, blah, blah, blah. You know, numbers don't lie. So you need some numbers to back it up. Don't just listen to people saying utility coming
Yeah.
equals price increase. By the time you react, it's too late because the price is already there.
I mean, people always ask me, right? Like they're just like, "Oh, do you expect land to go up in value?" And I think one of the things that we point out, and who is it earlier, like Yuki mentioned too, like I think land has already done a 20-30x at this point, or 10-20x, whatever, however you want to look at it.
Yep.
So like you're buying a potential top. Now you're not buying the ultimate top, which was maybe at $1,000 a couple of months ago. But
Yep.
to say that land can go up higher than that, yeah, maybe in the long run. But here's
Yeah.
the thing that's I think one of the biggest lessons that here's one of the biggest lessons that I feel like I am taking away now as a player is just I want to buy things that will have utility for me
Mm-hmm.
regardless of their price. So
Yes.
when people ask about land, I'm just like, if you want one, buy one just to be
Yep.
part of the community. But understand that if the value goes down to $50, right? Once land is revealed, let's say you get a common desert and there's nothing there. Like, but you will love that common desert like it's your baby, right? Because it's yours and you're gonna do whatever you can with it. It's not a matter of like, oh, I bought this for $300 or $500 and now it's worth a tenth of the price. It's
Yep.
like I bought this
Just
because I wanted to own it, you know?
yeah. I do not. It's not a lottery game that you buy, or I don't think you should be speculating land, hoping that, because I bought my land at I think 360 or 400, something like that. Even if it goes 800, I'm not gonna sell my land.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna use it and keep it. Why? Because I bought it at a price that I see the value at. I want to use it. I'm not speculating land, you know.
Yeah.
So I think that should be the approach for land. But if you're in to make a quick buck to flip, by all means, if you have the capital and the risk appetite, go for it. But I just do want, like common folks like me and players buying land because they think it's a way to make a quick flip. I don't want, because it's true that if everyone has the same idea, then the price will go up because everyone buys to flip, but it comes crashing down really quick as well. So I hope you're not the person that buy $1,000 hoping that it goes $2,000. So this is just like a advice to play new players. Like, do not invest in a game like that. I feel that
Yeah.
it's not. If you're lucky for once, you may make a quick flip, but in the long run, I think you're not going to enjoy the game because there are players who bought at $500-$800 hoping that it goes even higher, but now it has go until like 300 and half in value. So don't invest in a game like that, I feel.
Yeah, I mean, land at is like the most speculative asset at this point, right?
Mhm.
Like you can buy a pack of cards, but you know what you're gonna get. You know what the worst thing that you can get is. Like with land, like sure, we know the worst thing you can get is a common desert, but we have no idea what the value of that common desert is gonna be, right? Like that could be through the floor of what you're willing to take on as a risk.
Yeah.
So
It's
I
not
agree with
just
you.
a matter of what, it's also the matter of when, right?
And a matter of when. If they're saying
Yeah.
1 year now, guys,
Yeah.
whoever said land 2025, you might be more right than you know. All right, so let's see here. Let's catch up on some of the comments. So I have been saying, I think the progress of the game depends on players. If we all invest $100 a month on buying packs, we'll be able to unveil all the summoners in no time. All right, Ahmed, I wish I could do that. Actually, you know what? You go
Same.
for it. I'll be right behind you.
I
$100,
support you morally,
$100 a month.
spiritually.
Thank you for
I
carrying the
spiritually, yeah.
thank you for carrying the team. No, I mean, yeah, look, obviously, if you're able to put in what you can, then go for it. But here's the thing, like, I and this goes back to the whole like investment thing. Like, if you're going to be putting money into this, I really think that you should be looking at it as a game rather than an investment. I think the investment side is that you will grow your assets over time by playing the game because you'll win cards, or they'll, you know, they're deflationary in nature, like each specific card. But yeah, I don't know. Box Score Watcher saying, what people, there's no growth in the game at the moment. Go check Peak Monster dashboard. You know, I haven't checked Peak Monsters to see where the spellbook purchases are, but I don't think that they have spiked at all. So you're probably right.
Yeah, I think Box Score, like, I totally agree with you, and I have been actually raising this in the last couple of town halls. But the problem is the accounts that you see on Pig Monsters might not be a very good data collection done by the team, because accounts just means humans, players, bots account, odd accounts. So you can have 400,000 active players in October with 10,000 real players versus 400,000 now with 50,000 real players. To me, it's a growth and the game is growing. But you don't see it because the matrix is capturing inaccurate data or not the actual data you want to see. So it gives you useless, it gives you useless kind of like conclusion. So therefore, like when you look at Pig Monsters, it is not very reflective, and I feel that the game has to provide better matrices and data for players to see. And it's also this very point when Chaos Legion launch, they keep harping on we have 400,000 active users now, yada yada
Yeah,
yada, and packs will sell out. And it gives the wrong impression
it
to many of
does.
the players, thinking that packs will sell out in 24 hours. You know, if you divide 14 million packs in 400,000 account, each player just had to buy 50, blah 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 blah. It gives the wrong impression to
Mm-hmm.
players, thinking that I need to buy packs. And when the D-Day really arrives, you realize that there's not as many players. Why? Because the data that they are showing is inaccurate or not reflective of what's happening in reality. So that's something that I've pointed out to the team and said, you should provide more accurate data so that people have the right impression of the game, uh, rather than looking at inflated numbers that may give people a false sense of expectation or security about the game, that, oh, there are this amount of people. It's very complex. I don't expect everyone to understand this, but yeah, I'm just trying to share it here so that, food for thought for people to think about it. Yeah.
No, it's a good point. I think there's also, I wonder, like an aspect of the whole fake it till you make it. Like, at the end of the day, bots engaging and inflating the numbers isn't good for the economy. But I wonder if maybe they were able to strike some deals that brought money into the game, that brought interest into the game from like a high corporate level, because they were able to share those numbers, which
Yes, there
I
is
get it.
definitely marketing value for
Yeah,
sure. For
which
sure.
I get can be somewhat disingenuous, but at the end of the day, it's honest in the sense that, hey, like, we didn't create fake accounts, right?
Yep.
Other
Mhm.
people deemed our game valuable enough to create these accounts. Now, granted, they're bot accounts, but
Yep.
other people, determined that there was value in our game in order to set these accounts up. So it's still, it's still valid in that point. But from an
Yes, agree.
authenticity standpoint and where you're coming from, I agree. I
Yep.
think that conversation needs to be
Yep.
had.
There is definitely no intention to cheat or deceive, right? But at the same time, I think the team should be held responsible to provide more accurate data. But nonetheless, it will definitely hurt the marketing side of things, the publicity side of things,
Yeah.
and being ranked number one on that radar, blah blah blah, that will be affected. But it's a balance, I feel, that if they decide to go that route, which they did actually, meaning they want to be the top based on number of active accounts, then you will have to live and deal with the consequences that I said here, which is expectation has fallen short when it comes to sale, active players, accounts, real players, etc. You just got to choose which one you want to deal with. Yeah.
Gotcha. All right, let's catch up on some of the comments here because I feel like I'm falling behind. So Icy Flow is saying they learned from some of their mistakes, but not all. Hey Dominic, what's going on? So I've been saying once we see the first summoner and it's worth getting the airdrop for people, we'll buy packs to get the free airdrops. I mean, I love your enthusiasm about this. I personally don't think it's going to change too much. I hope it does, but like I'm thinking about myself. I'm like, okay, well, actually, no, you're right, because if this first summoner comes out and it's just like, oh, okay, like this is going to be legit, I might buy a couple packs here and there. But if everybody buys a couple packs, that could move the needle. Randy, what's going on? Dominic is saying, "Oh, 5 biggest takeaways coming soon." I didn't watch the town hall yet. Yeah, I'll get to it. I was more excited to have this conversation with with Godziel today, but well, I'll get to it eventually. All right, I've been saying, once Modern and Wild come out, will we have less summoners to work with too? I don't know if they'll have less summoners. I think it'll just be the same amount. I've been also saying Waka was practice for future promos. So Dominic's saying sometimes we need to be honest and not expect too much. When I watch Dwayne's content, he always say things will go up. Everything is undervalued. I like your approach. Look. I'm not laughing at Dwayne. I love Dwayne, and guys, I listen to Dwayne because I need to. Dwayne makes me pumped up about the game, but it's just not. I don't know. It's just never in my nature to like. I don't give price predictions because I think that's I don't know, and I don't ever want to be held to something that I don't know. And I think that's why you and I connected so quickly, Godzilla, is because it's just like I think we both have a very like realistic approach to what's happening in the game. Like you can love something and be critical of it, and I think if you can be critical of it, that means you love it even more, right? Where it's just like I want this thing to succeed, so I'm going to call it out for wherever I feel like the shortcomings are. And to the team's credit, I do believe, and we have seen them take a lot of the criticism and try to act upon it, right? Maybe not in the timeframes that we all expect because we all want it now. But I do think that the team really does approach this and say like the whole like every town hall, I feel like they were like shoving that feedback.splinterlands.com. Like they're just shoving it down our throats. Like, you guys have something, like send it here, upvote it, and we'll work on it. And now they're starting to deliver on some of those things.
Yep. I personally always feel that no matter what, like as content creators, streamers, YouTubers, you always say anything you said is not financial advice, etc. But I still believe you have to be responsible to your viewers, no matter what you say. And yes, for me and you, we strongly believe that we were responsible with what we say, and we always try to be realistic, and we leave the decision up to individual. Like we always give you both sides, the views from both sides. That it's up to you on how you want to decide and which way you want to take. So we will not promote any particular direction or investment strategy or anything you want to do, or even try to push you towards one, because I think you just share our view, and then everyone should make their own decision. And
that's the most important part, because you know what, at the end of the day, like here's the thing, I could say, or Godzilla could say, like, we think SPS is going to go up to $1 by the end of the airdrop or whatever, and you go out and you buy SPS now and it doesn't go up to $1 by the end of the airdrop. Do you know whose fault that is? It's yours. It's yours at the end of the day. But I still, and I'm sure Godzilla doesn't want to be in that position where like you steer someone in the wrong direction, right? Like at the end of the day, it's important that everybody here, everybody just anywhere, like takes responsibility for their own decisions, which is why most of what I do and like the whole value of the channel for me wasn't in like, I don't just put stuff out there and like presentation mode. A lot of it is like, here's what I'm thinking about. Here's my perspective. Please poke holes in it. Let me know where I'm wrong. Right. Because it's a discussion of like, here's where like the ideas are for me right now. I want to hear your ideas. And Godzilla, I think, is the same way, where it's a lot of our early conversations, even now, it's just like, oh, I appreciate your perspective on this because you made me think about it in a different way, right? In a way where it's just like I need to reevaluate how I'm viewing this as a game, as an investment, as such and such.
Yep. Uh, yep. I will always be realistic, and I always share what I can information wise with all the viewers. Some of my views may be not what you will see on other channels, to be very honest. It's a bit the opposite, but that's how I feel. Then I will share with you guys. Then you guys can digest it, see if it makes sense. If it doesn't, just throw it out the window. It's fine.
Wait, so you're saying you have a different take than some of the other channels? What was that?
No, just like it's. I'm not always. I always think that the game isn't like a bed of roses. Everything is gonna be all good.
Mm,
Things will be fine. Things will go up. You will never hear me say, I think this will go up or this will go down for sure, because uh, you're definitely going to steer the general direction of your viewers to something.
yeah.
And if it doesn't happen, you don't have to be responsible. But at the same time, you are affecting someone else. So uh, for me, I always just share my personal opinion and view, then try not to steer anyone. So please don't get steered by me. Just use it as reference. I would say
Yeah.
use it as reference. Listen to different people, different YouTubers, different content creators, and listen to
Hmm.
all kind of point of views, and then make a decision on your own and enjoy it. Enjoy the decision that you make. Don't make a decision because someone told you to do something, or like he said this,
Yeah.
they said that, and then I'm gonna do this. No, it should be, what do you think, and then okay, I shall do that.
Yeah.
Then you will enjoy.
No, I agree with you, man. I don't know how many videos. It's been a lot of videos that I've literally said, guys, I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm just a musician that started playing this game and wanted to like find other people playing. So like don't listen to me. It's just, but see, that's the beauty of it. I think like one of the best things about this game is the community, right? And how there's a lot of really smart people. There's a lot of really interesting perspectives. And like I mean, I'm not just saying this to gas you guys up. I feel like I learn more from you guys in the comment section or from like my conversations with Godziel, right? Then like the stuff that I'm putting out is just like, okay, things that I'm reading. And because I'm like obsessive compulsive like that, I can like dive deep into things and think about them. And I know not everybody's like it. So for me, it's also helpful to learn by explaining it in a way, but then somebody will come back and be like, yeah, you did this thing wrong and you're not looking at the right way. I'm just like, oh, I'm glad that I put the video out because I learned something from it rather than the other way
Yeah.
around.
Yeah. For me, it's just the same, like, sharing information and learning from people at the same time, learning from
Yeah.
yourself, learning from comments, learning how people think is very important. So I always like to sneak into your posts, your comments, to see what the viewers are asking, or what general questions they have or comments, because that will give me a sense of what people are thinking, and it's all useful information at the end of the day. Yeah. So yeah, if you have questions and stuff, always post in the comment section, post in the live stream, and we can communicate and we learn off from one another, trade ideas, let ideas clash, and it's just better for the community.
Yeah, I mean, look, at the end of the day, nobody really knows what is going to happen. So, and anybody who does is lying to you. I say that all the time. Anybody who tells you that we're going to do such and such, like they're lying to you through their teeth. Don't listen to them. And I mean that sincerely. And I'm not saying that like it's they're evil people. I'm just saying that they're lying to you because then nobody knows what's going to happen. I mean, this game could fall apart tomorrow, but from everything that we have seen, I think the team has a lot of resiliency and there's a lot of really really cool things that are happening. It's just not happening at the scale and speed at which we're all hoping that it will.
Yep. I'm never a fan of letting past data or historical trends predict the future. That's
That's
my
a good
number
point.
one. Like, I have never ever believed that you could use past data to predict the future. Whoever is still doing that in today's era, I don't know what they're doing, but that's just my opinion. You could, if you could use past data to predict the future, then I mean, then what's the point, right?
Oh,
Everyone will be able to predict the future, but
yeah. Not sure. All right. So Ahmed is saying, I think land is a waste of time and does not make sense in card games. Well, Ahmed, I think that they want like land isn't going to be part of the card game itself. It seems like land is going to be an extension of what they're trying to build in terms of an overall Splinterlands ecosystem. But I mean, I agree with you. So I think what'll end up happening is all these like items and spells and things that'll be minted are going to essentially be like cards, right? So if you want to use them, you'll have to buy them, and I don't think that they'll be, one-time use only. They'll be, cards that add value over time and are NFTs just like the cards now are. And for example, like you can choose to go buy a Jin O'Shaughnessy, or you can choose not to and see how you fare in your battles. And I think that's exactly what the items and spells will be. So you don't necessarily even need to operate or interact with the land phase of this game. It'll just be something that is creating other elements to the card game that can be used instead of the team creating it. This is what they always talk about, where they're passing that value on to landowners. Would be nice to if we don't have to pay DC to create a guild. Sure, pay DC to upgrade it, but not to make one. Man, I think I'm so excited about DEC going under its peg or back to its peg, because I'll finally be able to like focus on guild things. But yeah. So Mitchell just finished Town Hall. Love the new roadmap. I need more land, but I also need more SPS and cards. Man, I wish I could have it all. I wish I could have it all too.
Same here.
All right, Lawrence saying validators would need nodes, PCs, or video cards turned on all the time. I hope they account for the equipment and electricity cost versus rewards. Ooh, that is a good point. But see, if I leave my computer on all the time anyway, then
you definitely need a rig for sure to be on 24/7.
Yeah.
And yes, things you have to take all those into consideration. So it's not as simple as just buying the license. It takes a lot more capital investment than that. Yeah.
Dominic saying, man, I start buying Solana NFTs. OpenSea is in beta now. A lot of potential. Very excited. Flipping my first. Wait, you flipped the 10x NFT already? Congratulations, if so.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't messed at all with Solana. Like it was hard enough for me just to get into Hive, and I guess I'm operating in the Harmony blockchain now too. So I really should look at Solana. Do you mess with any of the other like NFTs or things like that?
Not yet. To be that's like a big topic on its own. So maybe I won't delve into it. But yeah, not yet.
Not yet. Oh, you trying to get into it? Is that?
No.
Okay.
Yeah. Just don't believe in it yet because it's
you don't believe in NFTs in JPEGs?
In things that I don't like things that can be easily recreated and duplicated because it loses its value. So
fair enough. Okay.
Yep. So not at the moment until I can see how things can be protected, like intellectual property rights that can be protected. Then maybe I'll hop on. Yeah. But I'm interested in other things, maybe like sandbox stuff, maybe metaverse. Maybe I'll be more inclined to join to dwell in metaverse rather than NFTs, to be honest. Yeah. Gotcha. Like I mean NFTs in the version of like art. Yeah. Like art. JPEG art. Yeah.
Fair enough. Okay. All right. So Kendall, I would say if they want the game to grow, support has to do with people that play Call of Duty. They have no patience. Otherwise, the game will not grow. You need to respond to everybody. Kendall, did you get your issue fixed? I remember you mentioned there was something going on where you were fighting against people that were like not at your level. Now done. Okay. Hello, Ahmed. You guys are awesome. Oh man, you're gonna make me blush.
Thanks,
no, Ahmed, you are awesome. Thank you for being here. So now many places where when you put $100, you get 4% back every 2 weeks. What does that mean? 4% back. So you're making $4 every 2 weeks. Is that every season?
Rewards? You get it from rewards at DZ? That's very good returns.
Yeah. Well, actually, so if you put $100 in and you're making $4 every 2 weeks, every
that's
season,
better than me.
I was gonna say that seems pretty high, but yeah, no, that's pretty good.
One pack is $4.
Yeah,
one pack is $4. So you just need to get 1 pack every 2 weeks.
I know, one pack every 2 weeks, and then you're good to go. That's why you
Yeah.
recommend Splinterlands. I mean, you know what's crazy too is that like if you're making these kinds of returns now, imagine what it'd be like in a bull run or a bull market.
Yeah.
So
My dog is disturbing me.
what's up, dog? What's the dog's name again?
Olive.
Olive. How's it going,
Yeah.
Olive?
He's pestering me.
Just want some love.
Mm.
Icy Flow, FY, big new announcement on Forgotten Chain. Ooh, that was one of the other games that I think we were looking at a couple weeks ago. Maybe this will be a good time for me to start looking at other games. But I don't know, man. It's just hard to like take my attention off. Are you playing Rising Star yet?
No, to be
No,
honest, the game doesn't really excite me.
it's not that exciting of a game. It's just literally click. But
The
I'm taking
the
everything.
graphic doesn't
I'm
just
literally taking
doesn't
everything and
capture.
buying SPS with it now. So, but
But a lot of Splinterlands content creators are playing Rising Stars as well.
yeah,
I always see streamers on Twitch and YouTube, streaming both, like,
yep.
swapping around. Yeah, so but should have its fun, I think. If not, there wouldn't be so many players playing as well.
Well, it's free to play, and
Mhm.
you start earning right off the bat. And so, at this point in time, like, because I got the Starbits Millionaire card, so with Starbits where they are right now, like just that thing alone is giving me $3 a day just for
So
clicking
you're
a
a
button.
millionaire?
I'm a Starbits millionaire. Yo, if Starbits ever goes to $1, if
Please don't
Starbits ever
forget
goes to
me.
$1, I'm gonna shut this channel down and I'm gonna go retire in an island somewhere.
Please bring me along.
I think an island's gonna cost a lot more than $1 million, but we'll see.
Just get
Maybe
a
I'll go to
small
the
one.
Splinter Island. Yeah, I'll get a small one. So it'll just be
Mhm.
space for two. It'll be you and me, Godzilla.
Sounds good.
All right. So Kendall's saying support never responded to my email. Kind of rude. They need to respond to everyone. That's a big minus. So yeah, I've
I
been
think
saying best way to
yeah.
reach his support is Discord. I feel like I get responses within like minutes, if not seconds, on Discord. So I would definitely give that a try. I can't speak to the email thing, but if you opened up a ticket, I know that they were like really proud of how many tickets they were going through per day. So hopefully they'll get to it soon. Gio, what's Forbird every day? I don't think I know what that is. So Dominic's saying very easy to start with Solana NFTs. Just need a Phantom wallet, put your Solana in, go on Solana Art or Magic Eden, and start by. Dom, I know it sounds easy, and I do trust you. I'm just lazy to set that up. I think it'll be more fun for me to like hear about how you made $500,000 on like the next time I do a live stream. So
Yeah.
just tell me about your awesome gains, and I'll live
Yeah.
vicariously through you.
We can have a millionaire Dominic sponsoring us some packs in the future.
There you go.
Go, Dominic. We're rooting for you.
No, I mean you're not the only one who's been talking about like Solana being put on OpenSea. So I know that it's happening. I'm just it's weird because similar to Godzilla, I'm not crazy about NFTs. I'm crazy about Splinterlands NFTs because I understand the use case and value for them. But
Yep.
like, I mean, don't get me wrong. It'd be great if I owned like a Bored Ape Yacht Club when they like airdrop $200,000 to every owner, right? Like, but I feel like if I'm gonna go out there and start doing research, a lot of it is just spray and pray, right? Hope to buy
I think
buy
at the end of the
something that.
day, is I don't get into NFTs as of now, is because it is not something I would want to keep. Like I'm really buying just to speculate. So that's not what I believe in. That's why I'm not getting it. If you
Yeah.
tell me like Banksy has a upcoming sale on OpenSea, yes, I will try to get myself whitelisted to get his piece of art. Yes, I would do that, but not just anyone's art pieces.
That's fair.
Yes,
Yeah.
I think that's the difference. Like if there is really a famous artist that I like and I want to support, then yes, yeah, but not just for the sake of flipping.
Yeah, that's a good way to look at it. And I mean, taking this back to Splinterlands, that's how I look at cards now. Like I'm only gonna buy one that I want to use. I think from an investing standpoint with Splinterlands, like I'm just done investing in cards. I think the only ones that I might invest in would be like rewards cards because I do think that those have like high potential to, go up in value outside print. But
Yep.
I would only do that once I've maxed out rewards cards. So that's been my focus now, is like trying to max out my
Yeah.
rewards cards, and then anything else that I get extra, right, from doing my daily quests and all that, I'll keep. And if we have another kind of leg up and the cards do a 10x, then I'll sell them then.
Yep. Right now, if I were to share my opinion on card and card prices, you just have to bear in mind that Chaos Legion has so many unopened packs and so many packs not sold. And if you are looking for any opportunity of flipping cards or investing in cards, just got to be prepared. And the only upcoming opportunity you have is when the new rewards come out, there may be a batch of players who may buy cards, like low level cards. You may just have to go and find out what cards are essential, what cards
Yep.
are the most useful. Can be from Untamed, can be from Dice, Rewards, or Chaos Legion. Those are the cards that may have a chance of appreciating in price. Other than that, I'm not too bullish on card prices going up in the near future, to be honest. But there are opportunities, but you just got to be very careful on what you are buying. Or just don't buy at all if you just want to be safe.
Well, just buy the ones that you
Buy
are
to play.
willing to use.
Yeah,
Yeah,
buy to play.
exactly. Buy to play.
Buy to play, upgrade your decks, go up higher tiers, and build your wealth from there rather than speculating, I would say. Yeah.
Start
But
playing
no
in
harm
tournaments. I feel like
speculating.
there's a
Yeah.
good amount to be made in tournaments too. So
Yeah, I have 3 tournaments yesterday, and I think it's a great way to play and have fun. And it's almost they give out rewards even up to position 256 now. You get your money back, so have a try, have some fun, and yeah.
Gotcha. Cool, man. Let's see. So Kendall's saying, okay, so the big thing is gamers like me don't want to go to Discord. They need to figure something out where support will respond to emails. Discord is not for regular gamers. I'm sorry. Well, Kendall, you don't have to apologize. I mean, if you have an issue, they should be the one trying to apologize and sort it out. I mean, the Discord suggestion was just since I'm already on Discord, they seem to be very responsive there. So I hope it gets resolved soon, man. Gia's saying 4-bird reward card a day. Ahmed, I saw your video before you got 4 packs. Was that for
your champions reward? I think.
Yeah.
The video.
Man. Yo, that champion grind, that was
it
something
fun?
else, man. My
That
blood
was
was
fun?
pumping. It was like as soon as I hit it, I was like jumping up and down in my room celebrating. I was like, first time.
That's really crazy, I've never been in champion. The highest I went was Diamond 2. So I'm amazed like you did it. Like I was really shocked. I wasn't expecting it. Like I have no idea how you did it. Like wow.
I mean, Darkest Night is the one who like delegated a bunch of cards, because I was grinding in gold, right? And so my rating was at like, I think I was able to get up to like 30, I don't know, maybe 31, 3,200. And then he messaged me and he's just like, hey, you're within striking range of champion. And I was like, am I? Because I'm not even in diamond, right? So I was like, am I? He's like, yeah. He's like, I'm gonna send you some cards. Go for it. And I was like, oh shoot, if he's gonna send me some cards, I need to actually go for it now.
He's such an angel, right? Oh my
He
god,
is.
such a nice person.
And we're doing that tournament giveaway this weekend, guys. So starting tomorrow, make sure you enter in. He's delegating 500,000 CP at the end of this upcoming season. So look for the tournament. It starts tomorrow, 3 p.m. my time, and the winner, top 3 places or top 5 places will get something.
Do you plan to stream like a competition stream, go through some gameplays, chat?
Yeah, so we're gonna try and stream Sunday afternoon, hopefully, and then I think he said he's gonna like delegate to them on stream, because I think we have like 7 days. We have like a week left in the season, but he wants to give people like 3 or 4 days to play with the cards and actually get, try to grind up as high as they can, because whoever wins is gonna get enough power for diamond. And then second and third place will be in gold. And then one other Mav reached out to me to offer like 100K power. So I actually need to post in Mav chat and see if anybody else is willing to donate.
So
But
you'll be streaming with Darkest Night?
yeah, you want to hop on with us? You want to chat with him?
Yep. You can let me know the timing and see what
Oh,
times is it
oh
in
yeah. Okay.
Asia, and
Yep.
and see how
It's
it
gonna
goes.
it's gonna be closer to like Sunday evening for us, so that might be Monday morning for you. I'll let you know once we finalize the time.
Yep, sure.
But
And
I think we're gonna do sometime after the tournament ends, so like Sunday afternoon or evening for me. But I'll let you know as soon as he and I figure
oh,
something out.
and there are 208 players really enter. What?
Let's
That's
go. This
crazy.
is my first time running a tournament, so I'm pumped for it.
208. Wow. Like that's a lot of people.
Well, we try to make it affordable. It's only one DEC to enter in, so you know.
Yeah. Oh dear. It's gonna be okay. But I'm just curious, like what if the players are too strong? Like, if like the top
Well,
three are like
it's in
Legionnaire
it's in
titles.
bronze, so
Yeah.
we did it down in bronze. So hopefully that's more attainable for everybody.
Hopefully that people that wins but don't need the power can give
Well,
it
yeah,
up.
won't be the
Yeah.
ones that are winning. Yeah, I mean, it's it's hard to filter out, right? Like, you know what? I didn't realize that there's one of those ways to make it more expensive for people who are in like higher leagues.
Oh, true. Like those that are in diamond. Oh,
Yeah,
but
like if I want to enter into the tournaments in like so for example, now that I'm in
champions.
gold, if I want to enter into any like the bronze level tournaments, like they always
Yeah, you
make it
pay
where
like
it's like
45
yeah,
STS
it's
or
it's like
these.
10x the amount of like
I'm suffering from that right now. Like I have been barred from so many tournaments because of the gold rank, and the diamond rank is just
yeah.
yeah. But I think for the greater good, it has been a big step forward. Like it's
Oh
really
yeah,
good.
for sure. Are you playing in any of the higher level tournaments like gold and diamond?
I'm playing silver and gold tournaments as well as the bronze gold foil tournaments. These are the one that I'm eligible for, and I just try my luck. But most of the time I just get my money back. I'm like in the 100th
Yeah,
position or
yeah.
so. Yeah, so I just join for fun. I
Same.
don't rank. I try not to rank cards for the tournaments now because I just want to see at my current deck where am I, and yeah, just I'm happy to get my money back just for the fun of
Yeah.
it for now.
It's fun to compete and see kind of where you like rank up with other people. So, and most of the time it's safe, right? Because usually the amount of people entering in is either at the same or lower than the payouts, right? The way that they have the payout
Yes.
structured. So it's just like, oh, if it's like free for me to like enter in and play, then I'll just do that. Even if I
Yep.
don't earn, at least it's a good experience kind of playing in more tournaments. And
Exactly.
it sounds like Weirdbeard is really trying to. He brings a lot of energy to the tournament space. So I hope it becomes something that is bigger. Because one of the things that I've been thinking about, I'm like, it'd be awesome to run some kind of like ongoing like league, and like every week you run a tournament. And I know Luke
Yep.
Plays to Earn did something like that, and I don't know what ended up
Yep. He
happening
did
at
it
the end.
with Zen Sports, and I was
Oh,
commenting with him.
you commenting on the
Yeah.
finals, right? How did that go?
Yeah. I think it's fun. He usually streams on the last 3 hours of the tournament itself.
Mm-hmm.
And then because most of the top players only submit the teams in the last 2 hours or so, and
Okay.
that's where he will just play some replays of the games, and then we'll just commentate some strategies,
Mm-hmm.
favorite cards of players, have chat with the viewers, and so on and so forth. So um, yeah, but it's tiring for sure. I think giving commentary on live action is pretty tiring because you really have to remember
Yeah.
all the names of all the cards, the abilities, and predict what will happen. It was fun, but it took more energy than I thought it would be.
I'm just trying to imagine it because like so many of the strategies are the same. You're like, all right, here's another battle with Jotun, and here's
Yeah,
another one where Blight carries it at the end, and
yeah,
here's another one where Valnamore comes in and all the legendary water monsters dominate. Okay, so
yeah. It's yeah, but the more games you watch, you tend to see a pattern in all the competition, like what's meta, what's not, and we try to share it with the audience to
mhm.
up the game. But most of the time, you have to rent certain cards for certain tournaments to get that edge. Unfortunately, but
Yeah,
maybe not so much in those tournaments that are like Chaos Legion only or Modern only. Then the playing field is a bit flatter. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I agree. I just want there to be more competition in the space, and I'm hoping that they can do that officially. If not, then maybe we'll try to set something up here. Oh, I did want to
Mm.
read this out. So for anybody who entered the tournament or is thinking about entering in, I think I can share this. It's not there's no white paper, so it's not set in stone yet. But Darkest Night sent this to me because he'll be doing the prizes for first, second, and third place. So whoever wins first place in the tournament, in order to get the diamond level things, he'll be sending you. Oh, and actually, you know what? I might even be able to hold up. Let me see if I can share it with you guys. Oh, never mind. So he will be sending you his dragon team, which includes Archmage Arius, a maxed out Archmage Arius.
What?
That card is the one that's going for
Wow.
$32,000 right now. So the winner will get
Holy.
the dragon team, so Archmage Arius and his host of dragons. He has like all maxed out dragons. Second place is gonna get maxed out Mimosa and Waka and a bunch of death monsters. And then third place is gonna get Jotun and a bunch of Jotun and a bunch of fire monsters. So
All right, I'll
hopefully
get
that gets you
third.
guys hyped up.
I'm joining the
You
tournament
should
now to
enter.
get third.
You should enter because here's the thing, right? Actually, you know what? Never mind. I'm glad that we didn't exclude players because like you'll have to go and you'll have to play with your bronze deck, right? So like at the end of the day, like it's a level playing field in that sense. But it'd be cool for you to win and have the power to get up into champion.
To be honest, like when I saw you went up to champions, I was like, oh my god, like that's so cool. And then I think your stream or video, you're like, oh my god, I'm now in diamond. And I was like, oh gosh, I don't want to be in that position. I do not want to reset in diamond.
Yeah, that's the only thing because now this whole season I've spent it in diamond, but it's funny because like so obviously he took his cards back at the beginning of the season,
Yeah.
right? And I started the season because I finished in champion, so I started the season at a 2,800 rating. And this season has been so frustrating because I grinded early on to try and get as much DEC as possible, and I went from a 2,800 rating to a 2,300 rating. So I don't know how many losses that means I had to face, but the first couple of days I was just like, I think I'm going to quit this game. But now, like once I bottomed out at like 2,300, I'm like, okay, now I'm starting to win again. This feels good.
Yeah, and that was when I met you on one of the days in gold. Then I was like, hey, how come? I thought you were in diamond. How come you're facing me in gold?
I've been in gold for most of the season because I don't have the power for diamond. So it's like you know how the way they do it now is like they put in like parentheses. So like I'm technically supposed to be in diamond, but yeah, once this season finishes, then I'll come back down to gold and I'll be facing people that I have a chance of beating. Man, up there, it's just like it's either Valnamore, Jotun, or I don't know, some dragon teams. Like it's just like I just kept facing those guys.
Kitty, Valnamore, Jotun.
Kitty is up there too. Yeah, so
yeah, or I'm still hiding in gold because I don't want to get the bashing from diamond. And I feel that the win percentages in gold sort of equal out the increase in DC or even more.
Sure, yeah.
Than me progressing into diamond. So I mean this could be a flaw in the rewards as well because people would just want to stick in gold and to push up to diamond, right? So yeah, but it's tough out there. Once you see like level 8 commons.
Well, do you have a maxed out deck?
No.
I mean, so you have a gold level deck then. So like,
yeah,
I don't
my
think
gold level deck.
Yeah, I don't think that's like a bad
summoner.
thing. Yeah, I don't think that is a bad thing for you to stay in gold. Like I know the team wants everybody to push up, but I think
I'm making like a conscious decision not to max out my deck, to be honest, because I feel that even if I max out, I can't win at the moment in diamond.
So so similar to you, I have no interest to go to gold or to go to diamond on my with my own deck until modern format comes out. So
yep, exactly.
And now with modern format being pushed again another month, it's like, okay, well, I have like a little more time to scoop up some cards,
wealth,
accumulate cards. I mean, summoners. the thing is to go from level 6 rare summoners to level 8 to max them out. It's essentially like double the amount,
Doubling.
right?
Yeah, and my
So
summoners are go foil, so I'm having a very big headache right now because pushing any higher is like doubling and doubling and doubling. So,
ooh, how much are gold foil
uh,
summoners going for right now?
uh, the
Are they
the
still like the
cheaper ones are in the
$30 range?
20
Oh,
and
20.
30,
Okay.
30, 30 to 33 for like, Obsidian and Kylia. So it's expensive and I'm not willing to put anything more because I'm comfortable in gold and I
Yeah.
could
Okay.
end
That's
in
fair.
diamond. So I'll wait out and see. Or I might just sell gold foils and just convert back to the regular decks and
Well, once
see
modern
how.
comes around, you're gonna have enough power to be in diamond automatically. But
Yep.
then again, but then the competition is gonna be way tougher.
Mm,
So
yep. We'll see how it goes. And yeah, I think it's fun. Like when you have
yeah,
things up changing and you feel uneasy and you have to, find your spot again. That's fun. Yep.
yeah. No, I mean it was a good thing for me to go from silver to gold, and now like same as you, it's like I'm not in a rush to get to diamond
Yep.
because unless I get some kind of delegation, it's not fun for me to just get my butt kicked.
It's a very big step to diamond. It's
Yeah,
really, and yeah, and I feel that a lot of diamond players are essentially like champion players, but it's just that because they've been kicking one another down, right? It's really hard
yeah,
for them to progress to champion. But very much I would see diamond players as champion players as well. To be honest.
yeah. Well, I don't know. I'm excited for when they finally split this out, Modern Wild, and I'm excited for rank rewards.
Mm-hmm.
I hope that makes it much more. I just hope it makes it a better experience for everybody all around. Because I get it, everybody's frustrated. They want to earn more from this. So,
Yep.
all right, man. Well, I've stayed on a lot longer than I was expecting to. I think I told you I
Yes.
only had time for an hour, but I always have fun chatting with you. I have fun chatting with the community. I lose track of time, so
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to rush off now and take care of some things before 11 o'clock my
Sure.
time. But yeah, you got any closing thoughts you want to share with the community or anything else?
No, just really glad to chat with you as well as with the community. I hope the community grows and get more involved. Put in more comments, question, chat with us. Make this a two-way conversation every time we hop on the stream, and that's how I really hope that we can interact with the viewers as much as we can.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's
Or
all.
got a couple comments here, so I'm just gonna say hello to them first. So Laura's saying, I would love to play more tournament, but somehow my account is bugged. Well, sorry that support is not. Sounds like support is is not getting a good rep right now. True NFTs are just JPEGs. Many projects are garbage. But no, look, Dominic, I'm not trying to shit on NFTs. I think that there's a lot of potential in there. It's just I don't have the brain space to go into it. So Viru 5 just entered in. Awesome. They need an inbuilt bracket. One good thing about gold is after end of season, you go back to silver. You know what? I hate going back to silver afterwards because then I'm like, I forget what abilities I don't have access to. I don't have blight. That's what I
Yep,
need. All right.
that's a struggle.
Everybody have an amazing rest of your day. I hope you enter into the
Yes.
tournament. And Godziel, we'll chat again soon, maybe next week. If not, we'll find it. Oh, maybe Sunday. Sorry, if
Yep,
you're
we'll
if
see
you're
how it
free,
goes. Yep.
I'll let you know. But if not, we'll find a time again soon. All right, guys.
Right.
Take
Right,
care.
guys. Take care. See you. Thanks for having me here. See you
Anytime,
guys
man.
soon.